computer. Okay, fine. So let me share my screen for the. Let me share. So as of now, these two. I don't know, these three. Fine. So today, see, till now we first of all welcome to today class. And till now we discussed about Spring Boot with the SQL database, Spring Boot with the MySQL database, and also Spring Boot with exception handling we done, right? So now we are going to write a JUnits, one of the application. So whatever we did exception handling, the same application we are going to write JUnits, right? Because we need to cover negative cases also. So when you are passing employee ID 0, previous class, I'm talking about previous class related to exception handling. So we are getting a whether it is a bad request, whether it is a not found based on the valid or invalid IDs of employee. So if it is an invalid ID, it will be bad request. If it is a valid ID, but we don't know records, we don't have records from the database, we will get the 404, right? So the each and every that particular scenarios, each and every positive and negative scenarios, we are going to write a JUnits, which is
Raju, sorry to interrupt. Your voice is a bit low. Can you please?
my voice is low. Still, you are feeling low.
Yeah, Raju.
Okay, fine. Let me stop.
You? Okay, Raju, no problem. You can continue.
Okay, now it is audible.
Yeah. Anyway, we are recording, so I can watch it.
Fine.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, fine. So, let me start video also. Okay, fine. So now you are able to hear. I think you are able to hear. Okay, fine, right? Hello.
For
Yeah,
me,
Raju,
it's fine,
yeah.
no problem. For me, no problem, but I don't know about Sumesh.
Yeah, Raju. Yeah, I can.
So otherwise, let me join from my mobile also, so that you people will listen well. So let me start mute this sound from the. So now you are able to hear. Okay, fine. So now you are able to hear, right?
Yeah. Now it is very clear, Raju. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay. So anyhow, I'm stopping that sound from the computer. So now I enabled from my mobile. Okay, noise. Forget about that. So now here, fine. So here we are going to discuss about the JUnits, how we can write, how we are going to write a JUnits, and within the for the developed code or developed APIs. So let me open. So I think you are able to see the code, right? See previously what we did. So previously what we did. Let me open this controller. So this is the controller. Here we have save employee as well as get employee, right? So for the save employee, when we are passing a request body, this is employee request body, and we are validating this one. So that is okay. That is fine. So when we are for the get employee, just when we are passing an employee ID. So that employee ID here we are validating. So whether this ID is positive or negative number. So if it is a 0, we are throwing an exception. We are throwing an exception called a bad request. Why? Because this is a kind of bad request. This is not a valid input. So employee ID should be positive number, and like that we are throwing. So how many APIs are there here? 2 APIs. So we are going to write JUnits for this thing. One is the positive scenario. When you are passing a valid ID, you will get the data. When you are passing not valid ID,
which means negative ID, you will get the 404 bad request, 400 request kind of response from this API. So for that, see, if you see the project structure, so when we are creating a Spring Boot project, it will give SRC main Java, SRC main test, sorry, SRC test Java. So this is the main package. Will have all our application related implemented packages along with implemented classes. So coming to SRC test Java, this package or this source folder will have the package related to test classes for the whatever we have a controller. So from the controller we started these APIs, right? So for this controller we are going to write a test class. So the test class should be employee controller test. So that is what we are going to write here. So if you see here, employee controller test, the same package we can give in this com.vcalculator Spring Boot exception handling controller, the same package, but the class is different and source folder is different. So let me open this. So here you need to listen very, very carefully. So for that, so what is the dependency we added? So if you see here easy mock is there. So this is the easy mock. So this is the Mockito framework. So in that Mockito framework, there is an artifact called Power Mock API easy mock. So using this, we are going to write JUnits. So we can call it as a Power Mock, right? So simply we can call it as a Mockito framework, right? So coming to here, employee test. See, these are the three different annotations along with mock bin and before and inject mocks. So some of the new annotations came into the picture as part of JUnits. Simply listen carefully, you can understand very well. First of all, running with Spring Runner class. So how we have framework on top of servlets, studs on top of servlets, JPA on top of JDBC, Hibernate on top of JDBC. The same way, on top of a normal JUnits, we have a Spring Runner class, Spring provided JUnits. This is the Spring Runner related from the JUnit 4. So Spring is developed, Spring framework is wrapped. A Spring Runner class is nothing but a test related class. So Spring Runner, run with Spring Runner. So which means on top of our employee controller, hey, this is the run with. This is using JUnit 4 only you can run, which means our class is enabled to write our test cases. Fine. For that purpose, we should use this. And coming to Spring Boot test, okay. So where is the main class? So we need to test Spring Boot test. We are going to testing which application. We need to give our main application class. Why? Because the execution of program will start from the main class, right? So if you see here main class, so this is the class name I given here. So Spring Boot test, I am going to test my main class. Why? Because each and everything, request and response, all the request and responses are going from this class only, starting from this class only. So that is the reason I am giving Spring Boot test. So you need to test this class. Fine. And the test property source. So how we are having a application data properties, the same way we need to give the path or location of the test property source. So location class path colon application hyphen mock dot properties. So how we are having SRC source, SRC main resource. So this is the main resource, right? The meanwhile we have a test resource also. Here we are not able to see. Here we can see test, right? In the test resource application hyphen mock properties. So whatever we are having the databases, simply we are adding, and also you can mention any mock name, but it is expecting some URL. So you can mention any dummy database name, and remaining thing you can keep as it is. Fine. So coming to here Spring Boot test class. So here what we are giving here, So class path colon application hyphen mock dot properties. Fine. So we are loading the properties also, which is in a class path. Fine. Now, so in my controller test, so I can auto avoid employee controller. Why I auto avoid employee controller? If you clearly observe employee controller. So in the employee
Raju?
controller,
Raju, can you go back to that class, test class? What is this test properties location? What is this location actually?
location class path in the sense automatically it will take the resource of mock properties, resource of test properties. So application hyphen mock properties is nothing but the application dot properties of this resource folder.
Okay.
It will load.
Okay.
It will load.
Okay.
Yeah. So how we are having a application dot properties in the main resource, right? So the main resource it will directly load, but whereas coming to test classes, we need to give the path of this property file, so that it will take instead of taking these properties, it will directly take these properties, some dummy properties. So why dummy properties? Whenever you are testing your applications, obviously application internally will connect the database. So whenever you are testing with the dummy data or some test data, so actual database should not affect. Why? Because in the same JUnits we are going to run a development environment and higher than development environments like SIT, UAT, pre-production, some other kind of higher environments. So maybe of course we have a live replicated data into these environments. So this data should not be affected with our test data. So that is the reason I'm giving some dummy database. So it is expecting URL when we are running application, but we are not connecting a database. That is the reason I'm giving here application dot mock properties, the test property source. So whenever I am running a test classes, my source is this is what my source.
Raju, just a second. So whatever the database you have given in application dot properties and application mock properties is completely different. So whatever is there in application mock properties is only for testing data to fetch it.
Exactly.
That is the thing, Raju. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So this database is to fetch the test data from the database. That can be different database or the same database.
No, that will not touch any database. See, whenever we are running an application, so we added Spring Data JPA, right, in the pom.xml. So in the pom.xml, so we added JPA, right? So whenever you added JPA, so while running an application, it will see the property files. It should have some JDBC URLs. Otherwise, it will give exception. For that purpose only, I loaded here. So actual the motto of test cases should not touch the actual database. So we are going to mock repository, which means the flow will go up to repository and it will return from the repository. How we are going to return, we will see in the test class. Okay, so we are not touching the database, we are mocking, which means we are creating a dummy or proxy or mock object for this instead of an actual object. If it is an actual object, it will directly hit the database. If it is a mock object, it will not hit. The controller will go, whenever we are writing a test class, the controller will go up to repository. So here we are mock, right? So here we are returning. If you see this statement, you will understand. See, so when repository dot get employee by ID, whenever I'm calling this, then return employee response. So whatever I prepared a dummy data here, instead of hitting the actual database, you should return this response only. That is what I am telling from my JUnit. So this is a mock, right? So this is a mock. So it will not hit the database. So that if it is not hit the database, we need to provide some dummy response. That is what I prepared here. So how I am preparing, I will tell you now. So whenever I am coming here, I will tell you. So for that, so employee controller test, I need a employee controller class. Why? Because see, whenever what we are going to test employee controller only, right? So that is the reason I auto-wide here. So see, if you see in this, from here we are calling employee service, right? So how we are depend auto-wide the employee service inside the employee controller. Why? Because we are calling the one of the function which is inside the employee service. The same way we are calling the one of the function which is inside the employee controller. So that is the reason I auto-wide here simply. So we are testing an employee controller, so that employee controller should be available in my class, so that I auto-wide here. So employee controller also Spring component. Why? Because I already defined REST controller. So whatever you are used or you defined a Spring related annotations, that will be a Spring bean. Spring automatically registered as a bean, whether it is a controller, whether it is a service, whether it is a component. So they all are eligible to auto-wide. So they all are eligible to inject somewhere or anywhere, wherever it is required. Fine. So employee service simple. So employee service simple also I need. Why? Because inside the controller I am calling employee service, right? So that is the reason I'm auto-widing here. And inside this, what we have inside this repository should not auto-wide. So that is the reason inject mocks. So that is the reason I use it inject mocks. Inject mocks in the sense, hey, I need employee service example is auto-wide. Meanwhile, whatever inside the employee service simple, those should be mock and inject here. So that is the reason I used inject mocks. So whatever inside the service simple, employee service simple, those should be mock and inject. So those should be mock and inject. That is what I used here. So this type of situations we can use inject mocks. Fine. So employee repository, obviously I don't want to hit actual database whenever I am running a JUnit. So that is the purpose. This is what I used as a mock bin. Mock bin in the sense it will create a proxy object. Fine. So here exact use of object mapper. So what is this object mapper? See, you need to take an employee request object and you need to convert the employee response object. Employee response object would be obviously would be the JSON format. If you see here test data, I already have a test data. So template static test data resource, test data, employee response, employee response.json. So here whenever we are hitting the database, whenever we are hitting the Swagger, by giving 101, we will get this kind of information. Response, employee response ID is a 101, first name is a Vikakala, last name is Vikakala, department email, something like that we will get. So the same data copy from the Swagger URL or Postman URL, wherever you are running an application running. So you can copy and you can prepare the test data. Instead of hitting database, we are preparing a data here. So coming to our class. So let me now. Okay, for that object mapper I used. So I will tell you whenever we are coming here. So before before. So why we used before here? So before running this test class, or before executing this test class, whatever I am using a mock related annotations, whether it is a inject mocks, whether it is a mock bin, or whether it is any other kind of mocks, those classes, those under mock annotations should be initialized init mocks. Then only the dummy object will be available. Otherwise, the real object will be available. So that is the reason. Before executing my functions, you should initiate these related annotations. So dummy object will be created, and also inside this repository will be mocked and injected here. So that is what happens by using before. Now, whenever you are writing a test case, it should be meaningful way. So by reading this method name, you can sense. So what is we are going to do in this test case? Given valid employee ID, then see, given, when, then return. So these are the 4 things will play role. So given valid employee ID, then calling get employee, then return employee details. Obviously, whenever we are calling a get employee method, obviously it will give the get employees when we are passing a valid employee ID. Fine. So Okay, that is the method name. On top of method, you should give the @test, otherwise it will not run. Fine. So here you have a test data, employee response. So response I am preparing. Why? Because I don't want to hit the database. So that is the reason I want to prepare my data response here. So in the test data, so obviously it will source the source as a stream, right? So it will look at the source folder, which means test source. In the test source, we have a test data here. Test data. Here we have a test data. So in the under test, we have a resource. Under resource, we have a test data. So obviously, test data / employee response. Fine. So it will be loaded here. So using Apache Common Utils. So IO Utils from the Apache Common. Using this utils, we can toString JSON object to string. We can convert the JSON object to string using this. So JSON file, we are loading the JSON file here. Get see resource as a stream. In the stream, we are getting here get class loader using get class loader of toString. So whatever it is coming as a JSON object and a class, it will be converted into the toString with the help of string utils, IO utils. Now it is an employee string, JSON string. This is the JSON string. Now using object mapper. You can convert JSON string to respect to object. What is the respect to object? Employee, obviously employee. So whatever here it is there, employee details only. Sorry, employee details only. So you can convert employee object using object mapper by passing employee JSON string, and also new type reference of employee. So whatever the fields or whatever the variables coming employee JSON string, those are equal to the employee object. So that is the reason it is automatically type reference of employee object. It will be created by taking key and values, and it will directly hold the values with respect to keys. Like that, it will help object mapper. So finally, we have an employee object as employee response. Now, see now. Whenever the controller is going to the service layer to repository, at that repository we are preparing response here to send the response.
Rajan, 1 minute. Can you please explain again about this object mapper?
Yeah. So object mapper. See, whenever you want to convert a JSON string to respect to JSON object. For example, this is a JSON object. So first of all, if you want to convert this JSON object to actual Java object, you need to take these values into the JSON object. From that JSON object dot get ID, it will get ID. JSON object dot get first name, it will get first name. JSON object dot last name, get last name. So by giving keys, you will get the values, and you need to create an employee object. Each and every field you need to set manually. So instead of doing like that, by taking help of object mapper, so first of all you need to convert a string. So whatever
the one which you showed me, this resource actually, that is JSON string or JSON object?
Which one? This one, no?
Yeah, employee.json, that file is there, right?
This is JSON object.
Okay, that is not a string then. It is just JSON object. Okay.
Correct, exactly, JSON object. So using IO utils, toString method, we are loading a get class and all. Using these classes, we are loading a JSON file to the string, JSON string. It will convert the JSON string. Okay. So if you are having a JSON string, using object mapper, you can convert and type reference of dynamic object. So the same employee will have ID, first name, last name, and department, and same fields, right? So if you have a same fields DTO, you can pass here. It will automatically convert this employee object based on these values.
Okay.
Why? Because the keys from the JSON string, fields from the employee object should be same. Then only it will happen. Otherwise, it will not happen. Okay. So using object mapper, we can convert employee response here. So whatever we are preparing these values related to employee response. So that is the reason I'm giving reference as employee reference. Now I'm having an employee response. Fine, that is fine. So now the actual, this is the very, very important statement. So when is related to JUnits, when mockito.when. So this is the mockito.when. So when I'm calling repository.getEmployee by ID, if you see here in the repository, you have this method. So whenever I'm calling this method, by passing some value, you can not one not one, you can pass any number, it will not take any number, it will not take. Then return. Here we are already saying, hey, whenever I am calling this employee repository get employee by employee ID of some value, then return this response, whatever I'm preparing here, that response only you need to return. Okay, fine. Now we are going to call our controller. From the controller, we are going inside. So by passing some values, So I'm getting here, it will come here, it will go here, obviously the valid ID, it will come here and it will go here. And now controller will come here. So whenever it is coming this line, instead of touching the actual database, already we prepared and we returned value in our employee controller test. So this will be executed. This response will be returned from here. That response only returned. Why? Because we already prepared and we already tell. So that Spring container will load. Hey, whenever the controller will go to the service IMPL and whenever it is calling employee repository dot get employee by ID, the Spring container will sense, hey, instead of hitting the actual database, is already this is a proxy database or this is a dummy database. I need to send the response which is already defined in the test class. So like that, Spring will register, right? So let me check how it will be coming now. Let me check. So just I want to run this first application. Once we get the response, just I'm seeing accept not null, which means that response is not null. I'm checking the response is not null and accept equals. So if you see here, accept, what is accept equals? Byte expected actual. So I am expecting HTTP status okay. Obviously the response will be HTTP status okay. Why? Because if you see here, here we are passing response as well as HTTP status okay. So obviously this response will come in terms of HTTP okay. So response dot status code will be the HTTP okay. The same I am expecting. So this is the actual result. This is the expected result. So whenever you are testing your application, you need to expect, hey, my response should not be null. Okay, fine. That is executed. And also the event status. Why? Because this is a positive scenario, right? Positive scenario. Obviously, we will get a HTTP status okay. That is what I'm expecting here. So by using JUnits, I'm equalizing my expected value as well as what I'm getting actual value. So it will be same. It will be executed automatically. So let me run this application. Manually
What
first.
you want to actually?
Mm-hmm.
You have given like get employee by ID long is equal to 3456, right? So this method will be calling that employee repository, right? From the which repository? That mock repository.
Mock repository will be called. But
can
even though some,
yeah, can you go inside that?
So I can go here. It will come. Here.
Okay, I mean that mock repository is that one, right?
So whatever here it is written. So whatever we prepared the response from the JUnits, it will be written here. It will be sending here.
Literally, what is happening is that you are comparing the employee by ID from the API, then with the response employee response. This both the value should be same. You are saying, right?
Correct.
Correct. So with the help of this ID, you are fetching the value.
No. This whatever we are giving dummy values only. Here we are just passing positive value only. But even though whatever you are passing here positive values, but I'm returning my response already. My response is prepared. Okay. Instead of reading data.
So Raju, this employee response, right? This employee response is only dummy, right?
Yeah, dummy response. Instead of hitting actual response, we are preparing a response here.
Yeah, okay. So this is dummy, and so in this when line, employee repository dot get employee ID is the normal like a normal get functionality, right? This is not a dummy repository, right?
No, this is an actual repository only.
Yeah,
but we are doing as a mock we enabled as a mock, even though it is a real repository, but we enabled as a mock so that it will not work. So whenever it is not working, you should return this one. So like that we are saying.
Okay.
Got it right. So we are enabling
But,
this
Raju,
repository as a yeah.
Okay, can you explain that again? Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. See, our motto is to test our application, right? To test our application in the sense, to test our application in the sense, go to employee. So controller. So from here you need to test your application, right? So you can come here, you can write and you can check and you can go here. So you can go implement here. Your control will be come here. So whenever it is coming here, we are testing, right? So while testing, we should not touch the actual database. That is the first rule. So whenever you don't want to touch actual database. So if it is the normal case, it will directly go in the database. So I don't want to hit the database. Simply I want to do the mock here instead of a real object. I'm doing a mock. I'm doing mock, which means I'm enabling as a dummy object in my test case. So that is what here mock bin. So if it is a mock bin, it will not hit the actual database. If it is not hit the actual database, where you get the response? So that response you are preparing here. So whenever I am calling this repository that get employee something, so it is a dummy, right? So we enabled as a dummy so that it will not give the any response at that time. Then return response is prepared by me. So you don't need to hit the actual database. Instead of hitting the actual database, you need to return whatever I'm preparing a response here. Simply.
So
Got it?
this okay. Sumesh.
Yeah. Raju. Yeah.
Got it, right? Yeah. So yeah. So actually,
this when employee repository get employee ID is nothing but we are not calling the actual database, but it is as we have annotated as mock database. So this when we are calling with any dummy, we are saying that don't return value from database, just give it from the response which I have prepared.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So whenever we are calling controller that get to employee, right, you should pass some value, right? Positive value. So you can give some positive value, whatever the value, nothing. But the response will be written here, this response only. You can give exact 101, or you can give 10, or you can give 101, or you can give 102, something like that. You can give some positive value. You need to pass here.
Okay, Raju, if pass any value which is already available, what happens?
If it is available value or not available value, obviously it will return your prepared response only. Nothing will be happen.
And
Okay.
Raju, what is the outcome of that line? Why are we doing that? Because we are not returning any value from there, and we are not checking anything.
Correct. Good question. So if you are not writing this one, you will be get the null value whenever it is coming here. Whenever it is coming here, you will get the null value. You are not saying something, right? Obviously, you will get a null value. So my expectation should not get the null value. I want to get the response. So that response only I prepared here. Good question. Got it?
No, not clear actually.
See, if you are not writing here, writing here.
Okay.
So what you will get? You will obviously get a response as a null. Why? Because
we
will come here. It will come here. The response the control will come here. So obviously, even though it is dummy, you are not returning something. You are not preparing, and you are not returning something, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you will get a null here.
Yeah.
Whatever you have a default value,
okay.
it is dummy only. It will not hit the actual database.
Okay.
So that it will give the null.
Okay.
So instead of returning a null, you are preparing a response and you are returning a response from there.
Okay.
Got it? Yeah. So let me run normally first one. Then I will debug. Let me run normally. So if it pass, it will be appeared as a green line. So then I will return. So something context. So it is giving context. So run configurations. So here it is a JNet 5. So it should be JL4. Fine. So let me run again. Again, it is failed to load context. So whatever it is giving. So let me, first of all, let me run here. Okay, the database name is I'm giving wrong, right? So that is not expecting, that is not obeying if you are giving a wrong database name. Okay, fine. If it is a real database, also no issue. So let me run now. Yeah, that is the only. So now you see. Okay, fine. So 3 cases are possible. So let me run individual. Now we are going to test this one only, right? So just I'm running in a debug mode. Debug JUnit. So fine. So it is running. So yeah, yes, it is coming here. So if it is coming like this, see whatever we are loading as a JSON object. So it is coming as a string. By using IOUtils, we are passing as a string. This is the string, right? So this is a JSON string. It is coming like this. So now this is the employee class. Using object mapper. I am parsing this string by providing this string. I'm typecasting as an employee object. I'm doing type reference as an employee object with the help of object mapper. So whatever I'm having the fields here, key value pairs here, the same keys should be available in the employee object. Then only it will be possible. So just I'm clicking F6. Now you can see employee response has some values. So whatever we are giving the string values, all values are replaced here with the help of object mapper. Fine. So now this will be executed.
So this object mapper actually maps the correct value to the correct key. That is the
object
function.
Mapper.
Like we have a string, right? So JSON string. So the main functionality of this is it matches the value and the respective value to the respective key.
Correct.
Then
Exactly.
Actually, we use hash map, right? The same thing. Like it will be taking as a key value.
Okay.
Key value.
So like same thing, hash map, how we'll store. So the string will be converted into a key value. It will be saving it in a map form.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly. So here this statement will be executed and it is registered and it keep it registered in his memory. So it will, whenever we are going to this repository, then this response will be returned. Now this is registered. Okay, this executed. So now I want to go inside this employee object. So here I am coming here. So whatever employee ID, something it is coming here. So of course it is a positive only. It will not give any exception here. So coming here. So it will go inside this. It will come in here. Now it will come here. If you see this, so this is a mock object. If you see this is the mock reference, right? So employee bean as a created as a mock. So whenever it is a mock, it should not be the actual database. So already this response is null, right? So instead of getting null, so we already prepared here. So whenever employee dot get response of employee ID is calling, then return employee response. So whatever the response is here, we already written here. So that will be the executed here. So let me open. Yeah, that will be executed. Yeah, you got it, right? So that will be.
So that response value it will be taken here. That ID value.
Correct. So why it is not taking?
Can you show that employee response, Raju?
Okay. Let me. Wait. So why it is not working? Let me check. So let me give 101 also. Just I want to check. But it should give this one only. Okay, fine. So let me check. Let me check one more time. So why it is not giving? Fine. So now it is a marker. It is a say employee will be the actual object, employee controller. So employee service also actual object, very simple. So this only the mock bean is created. Fine. So here it is coming. Next is here it is coming. So employee response is also coming. Fine. So it is coming here. So it will be executed and it will come here. So whatever it is coming, it should be written. It should be written our response only. Yeah, now it is coming. So this is what. Fine. So now the whatever we are writing employee response, that is what we got here. So this is 101, right? Fine. So now it is coming employee response here. Status okay, we send. So now it is coming here. So response obviously not null. So asset not null is a response. So what we are expecting here, asset equals. So HTTP status okay, I'm expected. So if you see here the values, expected value, this is what I'm expecting. The response actual value what is? If it is same HTTP okay, it will be passed as a green. So obviously in the response HTTP okay, this is what we are getting. So obviously it will execute. So it will not enter into the exception block. So obviously this will be pass. So whenever we are passing, the green line, green stripe will be come here as part of JUnits block. Got it?
Yes.
Now,
Raju, if you don't mind, can you debug one more time, Raju, if you don't mind?
yeah, definitely. I will debug one more time. So I'm debugging one more time.
Okay. Okay. So right now, what is happening?
Give me one moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Here.
So what happens is you are creating an employee response null value. So next line, can you move, Raju? Okay, next from employee response, can you go to that employee response once, Raju? Okay, so it is taking with all those values and converting into a string.
Exactly.
Okay,
by using
so
IOITs.
Yeah.
IOITs we are now we are having employee string, right?
Yeah.
Employee
so
string.
it is converted into a mapper object, right?
Using mapper, we are converting actual object. We are converting actual object. Here we are giving actual object, right? So by giving, if you see here, input stream. So this is nothing but an input stream of string. So the right value as a string, right? Right value as a string.
Yeah.
Right value. String and type reference object. So automatically it will return the object, whatever we are expecting that object. So here we are passing the type. So using object number, we are converting into the respective object by passing as a string here.
Okay. Yeah, got it. So
now,
next, like
now you are having the employee response, right? So whenever you are this, obviously inside the controller, it will go the request will go inside the controller. From the controller, it will go service AMPL. From the service AMPL, it will call a repository. So at that time, the repository.
Can you do FI, Raju? FI.
F5.
Yeah, you can go inside that get employee ID, right? Yeah.
No, nothing. It will be internal classes. These are the internal classes. It will check internal classes. It will come here.
Can you go inside employee, Raju? Okay.
Yeah, it will not go inside this one. It will simply it will return here.
Okay. Can you go? Can you go to the declaration once again, Raju? Inside that get employee by ID.
Yeah, we can go here. It will anyhow. It will go here. You see here only like this one.
Okay. That is a repository, right? So when you come here, that will be a mock value. That will be a value. Okay.
Now
Okay.
it will now the service is converted. It will go inside this one. So
Okay.
now the repository, it will not go in anything. It will be simple defining method, right? It will not go inside.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So it will be
the
a
repo-
dummy value. Okay. Mock
So now
thing.
if you see here, this is the mock object, right? This is the mock object, so that it will not hit the actual database. So instead of that,
Okay.
whatever we are preparing the response inside our test class automatically written here. So we already
Okay.
told here. So we already defined here. So
Okay. Because you have
whenever it
given
is
101 from response. That
correct,
response, employee response you have given, right? Top.
correct, exactly. So
Okay.
that
That
is
is
the
why
reason
it
it
will
will
be written. Yeah. Before this,
exactly.
you
That is
were
why
not giving that 101. You were giving different object ID. That's why it was showing error. Raju, I just want to clarify.
but let me run that also. Let me clarify our doubt also. So anyhow,
Okay.
it is running. It is running. It is running JUnit, right? So let me change the value. Let me change the value 102 and same value I'm giving here. Okay. 102. Just
Okay.
I'm saving. I'm running again one more time. So I think it should work. So let me check. Whether we need to give same object or same idea, different ID. Now we can. So, but whatever we are giving here, the same ID we should give here. So otherwise it will not work. So it will confuse whenever it is registering. So anyhow, okay. So okay. So okay, it is coming here, and it should be written. Yeah, it is returning. So previously we are giving different values here. Where sorry, here you should not give different values here. The same value you can give. It should be same positive number. Otherwise it will confuse. So that is the reason it will return the null value instead of returning this one. So now you can get. Yeah, it is returning.
Okay, Raj.
Yeah, fine. So now coming to negative scenario. So whenever given invalid employee ID, then return error details. So error details. So just I am passing minus 101, so that it will return the whenever it is returning. See, whenever it is returning, throw the new runtime exception. Just I am returning a runtime exception, right? So let me run this one. So I'm just debugging here. Runtime exception only. So let me see how it will be threatening and how it will be catching here. Fine. So whenever it is repository hit, but it is not going inside that. But still we are writing here. Obviously, I think we cannot. This is only null value, right? So I think fine. So let me execute this first of all. So this is a negative value, right? So whenever it is a negative value, obviously it will come here, and we are returning. So obviously it will come here. So this is custom exception, right? In the custom exception, you have a obviously you have a error method and status code. So message and status by request. So the same this message should not be null, and status I'm expecting this status the same status I'm getting here. So again one more field I added. So I'm expecting this one the same, the message also coming same. So simply it is a data manipulation only. Whatever you are getting here, the same you can expect here. So then only it will work. So obviously the case will be passed, right? I think we know we don't need. Let me run. Why? Because it is not going inside that. So just I'm debugging. Debugging again. So simply the response will come here. Why? Because we are not going to the employee repository layer. Simply we are getting the exception in a service layer only, in a controller layer only. The controller layer here only we are getting. We are not going inside this one. So right, it is returning. So whenever it is returning, obviously it will come here. Exception, right? It will catch in here. So no need to return in this one simply. So we are catching here. So whatever we are returning a throwing. whatever we are throwing here, throw exception and throws exception. Obviously, we are catching here custom exception only. So that is the reason we are getting here. So obviously, whatever it is coming, the same values we are expecting here. So like that, we can develop JUnits in our day-to-day code. Got it? What I'm saying? While practicing, you will understand. The same way, I'm passing some value and it will return null instead of then return null. So like this, you can write. So some not found exception it will come instead of actual record. It is giving a null. You can see here. So let me debug and run this one. So this is the one negative value and this is the one negative case. So using these test cases, you need to cover all your statements of your code. So it is simply I'm returning null. So it is coming here. So I covered previously by writing negative test case. I covered this line also, and previously positive test case. These two lines also covered, right? So you need to cover it. It is covered. Entire validation is covered. Now this one. So it is coming here. So obviously I told I defined there. So it should be null. So that is the reason it is returning null. If it is null, we are throwing an exception here. So that previously it is covered these two lines and this line. Now it is covering this line also for this negative test case. So you need to cover all the lines of your actual development code by writing all the JUnits with respect to uncovered code. So like that you need to cover, you need to write. So like, right? So obviously this one executed. So this is what JUnits, and you need to please prepare. So whatever is an exception handling, the same exception handling we have a JUnits here, you need to prepare. So you need to debug multiple times, you can understand. So the same we can run all the test cases at a time by running this class. So where is this class? Test class is there. So by running this one on as simply we can run all at a time. So yeah, so these are the values we can run. So you got it, right? What I'm saying? Hello, Somesh.
Yes, Raju. Sorry, I was speaking on. Yeah. Yes,
Okay,
Raju.
okay. So Ellen, do you have any doubt?
No, Raju, no.
Yeah, please do practice. If you still confusing or still you have doubt, I will be clarified. No issue. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Later we will meet tomorrow for the next class. Tomorrow maybe a little bit late. Today is the retro meeting. Tomorrow is the actual sprint planning. So that will take up to 10:30. From 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 2 hours meeting. So from 10:30 we will start tomorrow. Okay. Only tomorrow only. The day after tomorrow we can start before 7:30 or 8:30, whatever your convenient time.
10:30
Okay.
means 10:30 means 6 o'clock by me. I have can we have it? Okay, can we have it by Thursday because I have a class at 6 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, we can meet day after tomorrow.
Okay.
Raju, next class will be Kafka thing, right?
Yeah, Kafka. Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, friends,
Raju.
and thanks.
Okay.
Raju, one more doubt. So, like, if it possible, after every class, right? Can you take us a walkthrough on one-to-one mapping, one-to-many mapping? Just an example, a small example.
Yeah, I will give. I already discussed about Helen. Once we finished our examples, I will give you the one-to-one and one-to-many with the Spring Boot Hibernate using JP Hibernate. Definitely, I will give these two classes.
Sure, Raju. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I already remember that. Definitely, I will give those two classes with a proper explanation and a proper example.
Sure, Raju.
Yeah. Thanks, friends.
Thank you.